So Athena, for your presentation, we're going to be doing a demonstration on how big the planets are, and we're going to show how far away they are from each other. So for this, we'll be using this football here. And do you know what this football represents?
It's the sun.
It's the sun. Good girl. Good girl. It's the sun. So on this scale, if the sun was this big, every millimetre would be 4,000 miles. So 4,000 miles is from here to a country called Antigua.
Antigua.
From England to Antigua is 4,000 miles.
1,000 miles.
Okay. So on our scale, the Earth would be the size of this pinhead. This little pinhead. So if we look at it next to the sun, it's tiny, isn't it? Tiny.
In this big ball.
Okay, so shall we go for a walk?
Yeah.
And place the items that we've got and see how far we get away from the sun?
Yeah.
So to start off our presentation, we're going to go for a little walk and we're going to see how far we get, see how far the planets are away from each other. So Athena, we're going to place the sun by our front entrance here. You can place the sun by our front entrance. So we've placed that by our front entrance. Now let's see how far we get before we hit the first planet. Do you know what the first planet's called?
Mercury.
Mercury. Let's see how far we get, shall we? Okay, so we'll be where Mercury is. This is where Mercury is, Athena.
Yeah.
Compared to the sun. So do you know how big a Mercury is? You imagine a little grain of salt on your finger. So you hold your finger out, a little grain of salt on the edge of your finger. That's how big Mercury is and how far it is away from the sun. Wow, tiny. Okay, let's go to the next one. 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. We're now 17 meters away from our sun. And it's time, there's our sun, all the way back there. Do you know what the next planet is?
Venus.
So Venus is the size of this pinhead compared to our sun. So come and look over my shoulder and you can see how far Venus is away from the sun. Look. You're tiny. Okay, so on to the next planet. Okay, and do you know what planet's at 24 meters away from our sun? The Earth. And the Earth is by this different pinhead here. So come and look over my shoulder and look at the size of the pinhead compared to the Earth now. Isn't it? Tiny. So on this scale, the moon would be a grain of salt that was 3 inches away. So the moon would be where my finger is there, Athena. You see, compared to the Earth.
Tiny.
Tiny. And do you want to know a fun fact? You want to know a fun fact? All the planets in our solar system could fit between the Earth and the moon. All of them. Do you know what the next planet is?
Mars.
25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, Athena, we're at 37 meters, and 37 meters is where our next planet is, and our next planet is
Mars.
Mars. Good girl. So shall we see how big Mars is? So Mars is like a grain of coffee, a coffee grain. So look how far Mars is away from our sun. You can't see the sun, you can just see the sun. It's a grain of coffee, and look where the sun is. That's how far Mars is away from the sun. Okay, so the next planet on our stop, we've now finished with the rocky planets. Now we're on to the gas giants. Do you know what the first gas giant is?
Jupiter.
Athena. So now we're at 123 meters and we're now at where Jupiter is. So we're so far away, we've come around a little bend and we can't see our sun anymore. Okay, so at this scale, Jupiter is a 2p coin. So you hold it up and hold it down the road. Good, excellent. Hold it up, Athena. So Jupiter is the size of a 2p coin, and this is how far we are away now. Now we'll move on to our next planet, Athena. Do you know what our next planet is?
Saturn.
Do you know what Saturn's famous for?
Rings.
Rings, good girl, the rings of Saturn. So let's go, shall we? Are you ready for Saturn, Athena?
Yeah.
Are you ready for Saturn?
Yeah.
We'll have to fast forward the video because it's a long way now. We're now at 226 metres.
Wow.
So, if we look up the road, we're miles away. We're actually closer to your school. That's the Guilsborough entrance to your school. So that's how far we are away, 226 metres. And Saturn is the size of a penny. Saturn's the size of a penny. Do you want to hold a penny up in the air? Saturn is the size of a penny compared to the sun now. Wow. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Massive. Do you want to know a fun fact about Saturn? Saturn would float on water.
What?
Saturn will float on water, yes.
Really?
Yes, Saturn will float on water. Right, Athena, we've got a big walk now to the next planet, which is...
Uranus.
Good! Uranus. We've got a big walk now to Uranus. So shall we go?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. golf course. We're so far away from our house that it's up the road and round the corner. And Uranus, which is this planet, is the size of
A pea.
a pea. So you hold the pea in the air. Hold the pea in the air and point it towards our house. Hold the pea in the air. And that is the size of Uranus to the sun and where it is. Athena, so our final stop will be
Neptune.
Neptune. Okay? We're now, Athena, at Neptune, which is 711 meters away from our Earth. And it's the size of this little bit of popcorn. Do you want to hold that?
Yeah, I want to eat it, Daddy.
No, don't eat it. Just hold it. Hold it up in the air. Point it in the general direction of our sun. 711 meters away from our football-sized sun. So that shows how far they all are away. That's amazing, isn't it? We're 711 meters away from our house. We're right next to Brintonthorpe. And this is where Neptune is. How far it is away from our sun. So far away that you can't even see it.
Thank you everyone for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed seeing how far the planets are away in the sun. Bye!